So a few weeks ago, I did a music school lesson on the history of Motown Records, and following it, I got a number of emails asking for more information on the Funk Brothers. So I thought it would be proper to give these music legends their due and explain just why they're so vitally important to the progression of modern music. The fact of the matter is, the Funk Brothers were part of more than 200 of the most unforgettable songs in all of music history, including 80 #1 hits. Many of their hooks and musical innovations are now a part of music culture as a standard, and if for only these two realities, there's no question that the Funk Brothers remain the most tragically overlooked band in all of music history. While over their time at Motown Records, more than 50 different musicians were part of the house band there, it was the core of 13 players that appeared on most of their biggest songs that one can consider the Funk Brothers. It was this baker's dozen that backed most of the biggest hits in Motown history and were the supports for artists like the Supremes, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and so many other legends. The core of the Funk Brothers sound lived in their ability to create absolutely original musical orchestrations, and many of these centered around what's called a walking bass line from the one and only James Jamerson. When that was combined with the drumming of William Benny Benjamin or Richard Pistol Allen, that's where you find what people call the Motown sound. But it was also the work of the remainder of the band that created some of the most iconic memories in music history, like that guitar riff on the Temptations' My Girl, or the amazing piano piece that backs the Isley Brothers' This Old Heart of Mine, and so many other songs that have become a part of worldwide music culture. However, it's in those moments when the combined group is absolutely on fire, where the real music happens, and it's rarely sounded as good as you'll find on the pair of hits from Martha and the Vandellas, Nowhere to Run and Dancin' in the Streets. It's the way that the rhythm section feeds off of the horns and the perfectly subtle piano, creating irresistible sways and grooves and pushing the energy higher and higher as the songs progress. Granted, the vocalists they were playing behind were more than talented, but the reality behind the unmatched string of hit singles at Motown Records lends a lot to the argument that it was actually the Funk Brothers who played a huge part in this and perhaps not the singers, and maybe it didn't really matter what singer was in front of this band. It was with this idea in mind that both the Funk Brothers and Motown Records shifted the entire idea of what a session musician was, as the label understood that it was clearly the chemistry of this group of musicians that was giving them such success. And many other music labels would follow suit, creating a house band as opposed to just session musicians. So while the sounds of Motown will certainly live on forever as some of the most enjoyable and powerful music in history, the reality is that without the work and talents of the amazing Funk Brothers as the backing band, you can argue that few of these songs would have ever been the hits they were.